Oh look, a couple of game developers that ridiculed their audience doesn't like it when people get mad at them. Big surprise. Now, I don't condone harassment, I don't condone death threats and things like that, but I will say this. If you lash out at your audience and community, they're gonna fight back. It's common sense. So Ooblets was the latest controversy regarding Epic Games exclusivity, and generally I try not to cover these sorts of topics too often because it happens way too often, and I feel like most of them don't really warrant a whole video. But this one was kind of a unique case. Now, I can totally understand indie devs like Glumberland accepting a deal with Epic. It's really hard for indie devs to get by, and deals like this offer a sort of stability they don't get when releasing on platforms like Steam. And if Glumberland had simply explained their situation in a respectful and genuine fashion, people would be okay with it. But that's not what they did. Instead, they decided to be condescending to their audience. They downplayed the issues with the Epic Games Store, they excused the lack of features, and by the way, yes, Steam took 15 years to reach the level that it's at now, but at the same time, it was the only platform of its kind with nothing to really take inspiration from. We have standards now. There's zero excuse for the Epic Games Store to release in the state it's in. And then they went and brushed off people's anger by saying there's worse things to be angry about. Wow. Imagine being bullied as a kid and then someone telling you it's not that bad, you could have cancer. People can be mad or upset about more than one thing. And thus, the harassment ensued, forcing Epic Games to release this statement. It states, quote, "We at Epic Games have often shared our views about the game's business and companies in it, and we support the entire game community's right to speak freely and critically about these topics, including the topic of Epic, our products, and our store. When everyone shares their earnest views, the best ideas ultimately prevail." The announcement of Ooblets highlighted a disturbing trend which is growing and undermining healthy public discourse, and that's the coordinated and deliberate creation and promotion of false information, including fake screenshots, videos, and technical analysis, accompanied by harassment of partners, promotion of hateful themes, and intimidation of those with opposing views. Epic is working together with many game developers and other partners to build what we believe will be a healthier and more competitive multi-store world for the future. We remain fully committed and we will steadfastly support our partners throughout these changes. Many thanks to all of you that continue to promote and advocate for a healthy, trustful discussion about the game's business and stand up to all manners of abuse. Now, there are faked and out-of-context screenshots, and there were also faked videos floating around showing Ben Wasser posting some really unsavory statements on his Discord. These types of things are really easy to fake and were made to put additional fuel in the fire. But there's still very legitimate evidence of the devs very poorly handling the backlash and responding in still very unsavory ways to his audience, and they had very legitimate reasons for being upset. Wasser was calling people who didn't agree with him and his decisions baby toxic gamers, and was just in general being very rude to people. And while I don't condone the kind of harassment that the Ooblets devs received, if you're gonna treat people this way, it's gonna happen. I can sympathize with the developers for receiving the amount of hate they did, and the internet can be an extremely toxic place. You can see the kind of effect it's having in this gamesindustry.biz article. I feel the community should have genuine and informative criticism towards developers and their games. You can be harsh while still being respectful, but to expect everyone to abide by this is naive, and you still gotta hold yourself accountable for how you treat your audience. If you're gonna be crappy to them, they're gonna be crappy back. That's just how the world works. If you liked this video and found it informative, leave a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'd like to hear your thoughts and perspectives on the situations in the comments below. That's all I have now. See ya!